Yo, what's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and here to bring you another awesome episode of my weekly Q&A show, Top People's Questions, episode 235. We got a much longer episode with a lot of really interesting questions from a lot of different varieties, so I think that's a really good thing. And we also got, I believe, a number of newbies, which I'll be sure to get into. So starting off real simple with the first question, coming from a man named, I hope I'm saying this right, Diadrive CJ, and you want to know, what are some of my favorite soundtracks from video games? Top 5. Probably can't do a top 5 off the top of my head, but what I can do off the top of my head, without question, Final Fantasy X, hands down, favorite video game soundtrack ever. Followed closely by, I want to say, 7. Then I gotta go with probably Shenmue 1. Beautiful. Then I'm going to go with Shadow of the Colossus. And then I think if I can throw in another 2, I'm going to go with Halo. I think the Halo franchise has always had a really good soundtrack. And I will close it off with Metal Gear Solid 3. So I think that's 5 for you off the top of my head, which even I'm surprised I was able to pull that off. The next question comes from, I believe, the first newbie of the episode. So welcome back, I believe. Your name is Ivan Gallagher. Really sorry, I'm real bad with last names. But you had probably the longest and most complicated question of the episode, and you want to know, is it better for a seasoned video game franchise to stick with the same gaming formula with minor tweaks, or simply change the gaming formula while trying to capture the same feeling as the original? You could do both. I think it depends on what your franchise is and what the developers are trying to do. Now, I would put it like this. I would compare the idea of sticking to the same gaming formula but making minor tweaks to, I would say, the golden age of the Final Fantasy franchise, which for me, I would say goes from Final Fantasies 1 to about 10. I would say those first 10 games in the franchise are pretty consistent. The gameplay is still somewhat turn-based, with a timer. But they generally do feel the same with just small differences. Now, I believe when you want to completely change the formula, that's usually when you need a reboot, or if you're in a situation where your franchise needs a serious rehaul, and you get something like 15, which it's a completely different formula, but they're trying to capture that feeling. So I think that if you have a really good formula, you stick with it. But it's only when you completely get that formula wrong and you've tarnished your reputation that you need to completely redo it and reboot the franchise, but still try to capture that feeling. So I guess it's a little bit of both, and I think that's a really good example. Next question comes from Ms. K. Carrot. He wants to know, how would I rank the Mass Effect crew and Lantern core groups? What do you mean? What do you mean rank the Mass Effect crew? In total, who do I think they would go to? I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't think I got time to go through every single member of the Mass Effect crew to see where they would all go. Yeah, that's a real tough one. That would take a while because the Mass Effect crew has a lot of members. And it's going to take a while to think of every single one of them and put them in individual Lantern cores. So, yeah, that's a little too hard for me. The next question comes from Hygruger Blood 881, and you want to know, what is my favorite lightsaber hilt design from Canon or Legends? Ooh. I don't think I'm going to say just yet. I don't want to answer that question just yet because I'm going to give you guys a quick heads up. For those of you who've been watching my channel long enough, you know that last year, I bought my first lightsaber from Saberforge, which I still have, it's back over there. And I'm happy to announce that I actually ordered one several months back. And I recently got an email, I believe maybe 3 or 4 days ago, saying that it had already been finished and that they were shipping. So I'll be sure to do another Saberforge lightsaber review video, probably going over my second favorite hilt. And then I'm probably going to do a third one the following year, probably going over my favorite lightsaber hilt of all time. So keep your eye out for that video because I think you'll get the answer in that video. So just wait on that one. The next one comes from JDS4696. He wants to know what I recommend getting the PlayStation 4 Pro for more storage space, or just upgrade the PlayStation 4's hard drive. Ooh. If you know how to change out the hard drive for your PlayStation 4, and you just want to add more space, I would do it that way. I personally don't have any plans on getting a PlayStation 4 Pro because I don't really see it as much of a major upgrade. I mean, people are saying, oh, you gotta get it's gonna have 4K. I don't really see a major difference. And for me, power and graphics has never been the driving force of why I would pick one console over the other. It's always been the games. So when I keep hearing people saying, oh, the Xbox Scorpio is going to be more powerful than the PlayStation 4, that's irrelevant. Because in this industry, it's about software. It's not about hardware. And sure, you might have a more powerful system than the PlayStation 4, but if you don't have games to back it up, what good is it? And we all know that PC is better than both of them. I've never been a PC person. And even I'll openly admit that PC generally is a more powerful platform than either PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. So, yeah. And I already own 3 PlayStation 4s, so I got all the space I need. Heck, it makes it easier for me because I know what games to put on what PlayStation because I have them ranked by terms of rating. One PlayStation I use for all my M-rated games, one I use for all my teen-rated games, one I use for my E-rated games. I mean, that's just how I've been doing it all this time, and so I got plenty of space for plenty of games over the next number of years. The next question comes from... So, wait, I don't think I finished your question. But sorry, just to finish the question. I personally don't recommend you getting a PlayStation 4 Pro, but if you want to, go ahead. And I think you have to get a 4K TV in order for it to really operate like that. But if you do know how to just change the hard drive itself right off the bat, I would suggest you do that because I've actually done that with my PlayStation 3s before, and I think it's just cheaper and easier to do. Next one comes from Santiago Scarpino, and he wants to know who is my least favorite Doctor. I guess you're talking about Doctor Who, and I can't really go through all the Doctors because I only started watching it maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So I can't really say. I start with the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith. So yeah, that's really where I started. Yeah, so I can't really rank them from least to worst. So yeah, can't really do that. Next source comes from Macho Whisker 17, and you want to know who is my favorite Mortal Kombat character and why. Well, obviously it's Scorpion. Obviously, I mean he's the poster boy of the franchise. He's a badass ninja from hell. You can't really get any cooler than that. I mean and he's a perfect parallel to Sub-Zero, which I find it very funny because my favorite character is Scorpion, but my second favorite character is Sub-Zero, and when it comes to my brother, we're the complete opposite. His favorite character is Sub-Zero, and his second favorite character is Scorpion. So, yeah, that's pretty much why. The next question comes from Kyle Zamet, and I believe this is the last question of the episode, and he wants to know, who would I... Oh, I thought this question was funny when I read it, so prepare yourself. Kyle Zamet wants to know, who would I rather fight? Dante, Virgil, Kratos, Solid Snake, or Raiden? Who would I stand the best chance against, and who would I be utterly screwed against? Okay, let's run down the list. Dante, I think I could get out of. Because all I'd have to do is just not piss him off and buy him a lot of pizza and some strawberry shortcakes. Or strawberry sundaes. So I think I'm good with Dante. Virgil, I'm probably the most screwed with because he doesn't like humans and he's got a no bullshit attitude. But Kratos is probably tied with him too because, Kratos is just in a constant state of being pissed off. I mean, Virgil will just kill me really quick and I probably won't even notice it. But Kratos mutilates bodies. I mean, he'll probably rip off my arm and beat me with it, or, I don't know, rip my intestines out and show them to me or something. So, I guess if I had to pick who I would probably want to kill me more, I'd probably pick Virgil because he'd just be quick and easy with it. But I think with Solid Snake and Raiden, I don't really think they would probably want to mess with you all too much. I mean, if I'm like, I don't know, some unknown soldier in a facility and they gotta sneak in, I think they would probably just knock me out. So I think I would stand the best chance against Dante, and I would be utterly screwed. Probably with Virgil, but I would be more worried about Kratos the most. And I think I'm pretty good with Salt Snake and Raiden. So I think that's how I would rank from least to best. And with that, those are all the questions that you guys sent in for this episode. I'd like to thank all of you guys for making this episode possible. If there was any questions that you guys actually sent in, but I didn't answer them in this video, be sure to check the comment section of the last video, because chances are I typed the answer for the questions I didn't answer in this video in that comment section. And if you guys have any more questions you'd like me to answer in next week's episode, episode 236, be sure to type them in the comments down below. But make sure you get them into me before next Wednesday, before I start filming this video. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.